Namaskar. Hello and welcome to PGurus channel, and thank you very much for joining us at such short notice. Our guest of the evening is Savio Rodrigues, and here is a story that has captured the attention of almost everyone in India, but it is based on some false premises. So let us first welcome Savio Rodrigues, and then I'll set up the context. Savio, namaskar and welcome to PGurus channel.
Namaskar. Pleasure to be here, Sri.
Savio, I'm just going to read out a title of an article that came in The Wire. Smriti Irani's family restaurant in Goa in the eye of a storm. The restaurant, run by Irani's daughter, Zoish, Zoish, has got a show cause notice from the Goa Excise Commissioner for allegedly holding an illegal bar license. Can you please set right the context here, Savio? There are so many inaccuracies here.
Okay, so essentially, Shri, and I'd rather be very clinical in our discussion, primarily because I think we have a lot of misinformation, a lot of emotions, and a lot of propaganda going on as far as the so-called case is concerned. The case is taken highlight primarily because the contents that has been spread in the social media and some sections of the media is that Smriti Irani and her daughter are involved in the running of that restaurant. Okay, so what is the first allegation? That they run and they own that restaurant. Sri, in all my limited understanding of the law in India and in any part of the world, how do you define ownership of a particular property? For that matter, a restaurant, a house, a hotel, a car. How do you define that? You define that by the documents that are allowed by the government that allows for you to have ownership of a particular property. Can any of them making allegations against Smriti Irani and her daughter show which document in the government, which document in the excise, which document in the RTI specifies Smriti Irani's daughter's name? There will not be a single document. Why? Because even in the notice sent by the Goa Excise Department to that particular restaurant, it is being sent to the owner of that restaurant. The owner of that restaurant is a Goan origin resident. He's a Catholic. Unfortunately, he expired in 2021. By virtue of that, his son became responsible for that restaurant property. The son also faced, after the father, another tragedy in the family. In lieu of that, for the next 6 months to 7 months, the son did not renew the license when it expired. He then said, when he realized that he did not renew the license, he went ahead after the due date to go ahead and renew that license. And that process is still on, and which he has already commenced before this entire issue started. Smriti Irani's daughter, to the best of my knowledge, was an intern at that restaurant. She started working there as an intern, and she's an intern chef. Now this entire controversy is coming out of this article that was there. People are putting an interview of 𝙒𝙗𝘅𝑗𝙗𝘀, which she had done, where she has said, this is my restaurant, a statement like that. Again, I come back to the most important thing. Today, I could be staying at any of the hotels in India with my children. My children, in fact, in Goa, have a favorite hotel over there. And in most cases, when they celebrate their birthdays, they say, come to my hotel. Does that mean any of us owns that particular 5-star hotel? The answer is no. We don't. But there is a familiar bonding with a particular thing. Here, in case of her being the chef, working at that restaurant, there is a familiar bonding. So why she said that she owned the restaurant, she ran the restaurant, is up to her to bring out. And I'm sure in due course, that truth will come out. What is not being told to many people is who are the real owners of that restaurant. The real owners are the Goan residents, Sri. And why should the Goan resident A person, a young man who's taken over the restaurant after the death of his father, after the death of somebody very close to him as well in the family, be bogged down with political vendetta because somebody wants to show Smriti Irani in bad light. What has the Goan family done wrong? Because they allowed Smriti Irani's daughter to be an intern chef, that was the only mistake? Why is nobody talking about the Goan family? Everybody is writing about Smriti Irani and her daughter. You know, there's a tutu meme going on between Congress and of course, Smriti Irani's put out a very strong defense and factual defense. She plans to take them to court, which she should. Because this kind of defamation, dragging children into the political battles, is not required. More so because it's based on an absolute lie. And I'm saying very clearly, what is the document that proves that there is ownership? Can anybody prove that? You can take an interview, you can bring out something that says that you know, this is my restaurant. I go to Republic many times. And I'm a part of the Republic family. That does not make the Republic channel my TV, you know. Today, my Goa Chronicle teammates say Goa Chronicle is mine, but they will never feature as the owner, no? Even though they have ownership of that particular product of ours. I think this is all convoluted. This is nothing but political harassment and vendetta. And unfortunately, they've dragged two innocent people who've got nothing to do with politics to be targeted. The whole target is Smriti Irani. The whole target is Smriti, as Smriti Irani said in her press conference, is because she went after Rahul Gandhi and the Gandhi family and took press conferences against them. This is done purely for that. Now, Smriti Irani is a union minister. Smriti Irani has her own defense. I am telling you primarily what are the facts on the ground. And I'm not defending Smriti Irani because she's a BJP leader. I'm coming out to tell you that it's very difficult for young people and innocent people to move on when you drag them unnecessarily when the facts of the case are incorrect.
So true, so true. Especially, you know, somebody like The Wire. Um, I think they saw some heat come back or some pushback come back, and they seem to have changed part of their story. But still, the damage is done. Now the matter probably will go to the courts, or maybe they'll settle out of court, because once INC sees that there are no teeth in its arguments, maybe it will back out. And INC is known for these kinds of stuff. Savio, the more important thing here is, what did they hope to gain, even if it was true that she did own a restaurant? You know, like renewing a license and so on and so forth. It's a matter of doing business. Somebody could forget to renew the license. So what? What was the big deal here? That's what I'm trying to grab my hands around.
There were two aspects of it which I think India perverted mind was to focus on the fact that Smriti Irani's daughter was running this restaurant, and it also had a bar. So it's a cafe and a bar. Okay. So bar was one of the terms that they had used quite often, you know, and tried to mock, as though bar is something that you can mock. You know, bar is not illegal if it has a legal license. It's as simple as that. It's permitted in this country. We're not living in a Saudi Arabia, for that matter, or in Iran, right? So I don't see I don't see anything wrong if Smriti Irani's daughter also owned that restaurant legitimately. Okay. The fact of the matter is, she does not own that restaurant. Today, an 18-year-old is within the legal rights to own a restaurant, but she's not. She's studying. She's studying to focus on the hospitality segment. She was interning as a chef. I don't see what is wrong in somebody interning. An intern is not an owner.
Right.
You know,
right.
And
they don't even get paid for it. Many times they don't even get paid for it.
Maybe. I mean, I really don't know what were the understandings between them. All I'm saying is that, how do you define ownership? Right. Running a restaurant doesn't mean you own a restaurant. Ownership is defined by what documents grants you the right to the property, right? Can anybody dispute otherwise? Everybody carried a story. Most media carried the story that there's a restaurant run by Smriti Irani's daughter. Can you show me the show cause notice which names Smriti Irani's daughter? Because he said show cause notice given to Smriti Irani's daughter's restaurant. Right?
True.
Is she named in that? Is Zoish Irani named in that? She's not. The owner of the restaurant is named because rightfully the legal authority will give it to the owner, no? Who's on the document as the owner.
Right.
So I'm saying in the end, let's assume for a moment that all of them are targeting Smriti Irani, her 18-year-old daughter, and the family of the Goan resident. What is the basis of that attack? If not silliness. Because this is going to be a huge egg on the Congress's face. Because if I know Smriti Irani well, and when it comes to her daughters, her children, I don't think she's going to back out. I think they are going to really, Pawan Khera and the rest are really going to see the onslaught of the law come against them. Primarily, you see, I have daughters. Shri, if I had a son also, I would have behaved in the same manner. Okay? Our children cannot become a part of the political vendettas if they are not directly involved in it. Right? If my daughter was moving to be a politician and she gets targeted by another political leader, I can understand that. But if my daughter's got nothing to do with my politics, to drag her to target me would be asking for a war that they would regret. So I think we need to be a little sensible when we are being political opposites, you know. We are being political rivals. Political rivalry is based on the fact that we are doing something in the interest of the state or the country. It's not based on personal vendetta. It's a professional vendetta. Right? So the professional vendetta must follow the guidelines of professionalism. Unfortunately, in this case, they've just gone beyond board. I mean, look at the social media and look at the amount of information, negative information. Boss, if I call myself an owner of a property, I will have a document in my hand, no? Where is that document? You can then...
And it's something accessible to everybody. It is something accessible to everybody. It's on the websites. So they didn't even do proper due diligence.
I'm saying at the end, you know, this is basically nothing but you know, political vendetta. It's pure targeting of Mrs. Irani's daughter to target Mrs. Irani. But unfortunately, Smriti Irani and her daughter are known. They have the wherewithal to fight this. I am concerned about the Goan family. What was their fault?
Yes. Yes.
What was their fault to be dragged into this? Yes. So do you know how many restaurants could forget having licenses in Goa? So there is a protocol, right? Let's say they forgot the license, the excise department sent them a notice. If it was any other case, would it have been important? Because I'm sure the excise department have many cases where people have not renewed their licenses. And this is not only left to go, it happens all over India. Has it been blown out of proportion? And where has it blown out of proportion? It's going to impact that Goan family. That's what is irritating me the most. What did that Goan family have to do with this entire thing except accepting Smriti Irani's daughter as an intern chef?
True. And I think one other possibility, Savio, is that tomorrow, I think Sonia Gandhi is back in the ED trying to answer the questions that ED is going to ask her. And may we give unasked for advice, take all your personal hygiene stuff with you. So you can't have that excuse of, you know, wanting to go home to take your medication. If you have special food requirements, take them with you. If you have special diet requirements, take them with you. If you need to rest in the middle of the day, maybe you can request ED to furnish a room, bed for you to sleep.
See, I'll say just one thing on Sonia Gandhi's ED questioning. Okay? And this is very important because it actually comes from the statement made by Ashok Gehlot, you know, the Chief Minister of Rajasthan, where he made a really ridiculously absurd statement which said that ED must go to Sonia Gandhi's house to question her.
Yeah.
Okay. Now, Congress might think that Sonia Gandhi is the queen of 10 Janpad, and they are within their rights to live in this fading grandeur and the fading illusion. They are within their rights. I don't think we should take that right away from them. But Sonia Gandhi is also an accused in a crime. Therefore, ED has to treat her as an accused, right? So, just like a common man would go to an authority, let's say a police has filed a case against XYZ person, that person is called for questioning, the common person goes to the police station for answering the questions. Where is the complication in this entire thing? I'm not able to understand. Does the Congress think that Sonia Gandhi and Rahul Gandhi are above the law because they are the Gandhis and they come from a legacy?
Heaven.
Right? I think
Yeah.
that is a very, very, I personally, and maybe I get irritated about it because I believe we abolished slavery around the world years ago. This is a pathetic slavish mentality. Statements made by senior leaders like Ashok Gehlot that an ED must go to Sonia Gandhi's house. My friend, I don't understand Sonia Gandhi, for all the power that she has in this world and in this country that she thinks and Congress thinks she has. In the eyes of the law, she is who she is, no? Like every common man.
Yes.
Why couldn't they have the common sense to go and face the law and come out victorious if there's nothing guilty against you? Why this entire drama? Why this protest and inconvenience to the people? If you are in a person of integrity and the law is against you at that point of time, it is only fair that you face the law and come out clean. This sort of behavior, it's only going to work in the interest of the BJP. The Congress is going to become further irrelevant as far as India is concerned with this kind of behavior. I mean, with all due respect to Sonia Gandhi, for whatever political career that she has, she is not the Queen of India. There is no monarchy in India. There is a democracy in India. And the Constitution of India, the laws of India are applicable to everyone, irrespective of what they think they are.
Thank you very much, Savio, and viewers. That's it. And this is basically, attention diverting tactic. They couldn't find anything else, and unfortunately, even the tactic that they use is going to, come and bite them in the most inconvenient place. Thank you very much, Savio, and we'll be back again if there's any developments on this. We'll be back with Savio. Thank you very much. Namaskar.
Namaskar.